Uh, oh, oh my God. Sorry about this video. It's going to be short and quick. The reason for me telling these little spits and spats and just showing, certain people in my family. And I don't know why everybody kept saying I ain't had no family. I got abundance of family. Even I showed y'all one of my uncles with all them kids. You know, Hmm. Our family didn't multiply. We big, but we prominent. We actually stay to ourselves. We working people. I'm not the only lawyer, judge that's in the family. It's another doctor. I mean, everybody doing okay. Those that can. Some people just have to do what they, and some of them just stay at home, moms or whatever. Because they got good husbands. So that's one. Two, I was put in situations where people lied on me and all that. Okay, was able to be cleared up because I told you everybody wasn't bad, and they was not expecting to try to get over on me because they themselves don't want nobody doing them like that. God bless them for being that way. I even showed a video on her. A whole town was destroyed because that white woman lied, and her white man was the one that was beating on her. You see what I'm saying? Three. So my kids got killed. I can't let it go. Justice has yet to be served. And other investigators and everybody looked into it was like, them other motherfuckers weren't even giving a damn. Some of them was black, some of them was white, other nationalities that worked with the FBI. I even got into it with an FBI agent. She was based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and another lady was with her. And the other's like, why you keep challenging her? Why you so mad at Shonda? You don't even know her. So they always bragging about her, talking some she always, take care of everything. She barely call for backup. She takes, she do. They do brag about me a lot. You know, I get the job done, and I'm not a shit starter. She swung at me all this back and forth. I kicked her ass. I thought the fight was over. I walked up. She hit me. I kind of stumbled. I said, "Didn't I tell you to go?" Before I know it, I grabbed her by her neck and threw her through that front windshield, and she landed in the driver's seat. Yeah, you need to go. You go to the other lady. That's the FBI with her. How we? She told us how they was gonna go. They ain't got no windshield now. Let's say y'all will figure it out. But I like the lady that was with her, because she called it in too, and she immediately got dismissed. And the other agents from Minnesota still stayed around. They came back. Okay. Oh, come on. Let me see. It's not that the lie does not. And it's not. Oh, it's not criminal behavior. Let me see. Everybody be on here. Okay. So anyway, I guess somebody flagged my page. They looking for because I'm talking about stuff that happened while working and being employed by the FBI too. Because that should not happen. Okay, the other point I told you all about Ludacris, Nicole Patterson, and everybody else that was involved, J. Rowe, Kevin Durant, all this other stuff that had happened. Okay? That's not the first time all of them done did that. Okay? Stuff did calm down when everybody found out what was going on. You know? But this guy, this boy I had met way back in the 70s because I knew his brother. I forgot his brother name. He should just be one of my baby daddies. Going back to the 70s. But I'm a fast forward. He got older, got in my business when all this stuff was going on. After I had already took care of it. Everything was cool. I went out there in the projects. I talked to them face to face and all this other stuff. And they already knew what Nicole Patterson was doing. And their main thing is that they GDs, they vice laws. What in the world is they doing? What is Daenerys doing? The nine steady running, hanging with the GDs, kicking and talking with those his boys. He really thought Big D and Bug now was Vice Lord. When Bug figured that out too, because she really thought he was GD, she had, she really, they started doing that stuff when they was younger. And everybody had already knew each other. You know how it is. They thinking, then he got to bragging about the situation. See what I'm saying? Then they thought they was trying to figure out, Bug was trying to figure out who was Alpha. You talking about Alpha? I said, no, I ain't talking about Big Alpha Big Mooney now. I said, I don't know. I say, he got caught up on some other charges somewhere else. She said, oh, I seen that in the paper. I said, well, you know how the paper is. It still might be in the county. She said, okay. So you ain't talking about him? I said, I said, this man Alpha used to date Yvette. I said, you remember Yvette and Deisha now? Deisha talking trash, trying to act all tough. She told me, what Deisha now on, And she told me, oh, you talking about Vet? Used to be with Fred. I said, yeah. I said, the one everybody call a twin. Be around Future now. Okay. He say, Vet number, I ain't to holler at her. What's they doing all that for? He said, what they think what he supposed to do with that $5,000? That's the second time they went to him with $5,000 to try to be against me. We talking. And he out there moving in one of my apartments, which they shouldn't have did it that way. He out there talking about everybody and cussing everybody out. That's the dude, Big D. He say, they really jealous of you. Because he always somehow they jealous. So he said, because you always take care of your kids. I ain't never known nothing wrong with you. He said, yeah. He was talking about how he be on bull crap, him and Bud. But can't nobody say nothing about their kids. He said, all your kids smart. All your kids, they act like kids. He was talking like me and Bud kids act like kids. No matter what we do. We don't put our kids in our stuff. And you ain't like that either. He ain't whispering nothing. He talking loud as I don't know what. Because he knew the mics was on. Mayweather come through talking all this trash. He actually deal with them people. So he tell what's the name now, sure we can go and get a fight together. He talking about getting a boxing match together. He asked me, he said, why don't you go ahead and register your hands again? So they know I got hands. Oh, I'm something else with gloves on. He know it. So that's around the time when Layla Ali and everybody did fights, all this stuff. He went on, did a fight. Wouldn't nobody fight me. Wouldn't nobody. Hey, no, that's all right. He offered up the money. He was putting the money up. He know I own HBO and all that stuff. So, boy, you gonna get paid. Mike Tyson said, ain't nobody gonna fight her with or without no gloves. Said they already be trying her without gloves. The promoters they full of crap. Cause they know she'll whoop them. Here go Layla. So I'm yep, sure will. Layla's like, I wish you was my height. She said, I would have took a chance and fought you. She said, I said I would have took a chance. She said, I wasn't going to let you beat the hell out of me, though, because I know how you are. She said, but it ain't no good time for you to be fighting nobody anyway. That's what the other promoter said. Talking because you mad. Look at all this stuff and it's the same people. And they won't even get in the ring with you and fight. He said, oh, boy, they on some bull crap. And then they found out what happened between me and Luda and his friend. They was like, look how you is without gloves. Look how you are. And that blow you gave is really something else, considering you weren't in front of him. You were just on the side of him, So everybody looked into all that stuff that had been going on. So it was a lot of people, mother, kids, daddies, everybody coming through. Because Mayweather telling everybody, but he going other places being negative towards me. He told me, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Because you don't even deal with nobody. Okay. So that's when everybody started coming through. Not R. Kelly the molester. I'm talking about the other R. Kelly I used to date. Him and Carrie Hilton them come through. We did that song they called Number One. We made it number. He said in the radio station, how you was gonna make that number one? It's the first time we played. I said, you know me. Everybody was coming over. That's when who was who? Everybody was coming over. And T.I. know I do not like them. They coming up. What you bring your nose and bust over it for? What you want? It was just all then, here come a Marion them. Everybody want to get on tour. They want to do this. I'm advertising. I'm finna go on tour. Everything. I'm talking about when it was advertising in the papers, I own the stadiums and arenas and stuff. And everybody, within a week, the Enterprise, where the Blues hockey had their games, that I own that. And I own Enterprise Rental. All the tickets were sold out. Everything. People calling me, I want to be on backstage or whatever. Give us a backstage deal or this, and that. We want to see the show. We want to see the show because I'm all on Instagram jamming. I'm feeling all hype. I wasn't broke. All my cancer won't bother me. Everything was going okay. Mm-hmm. Everything. There's some East St. Louis Police Department stuff lied to the local police department. They lied to the state troopers. Like they had my back in what the plot was against me. Mm-hmm. They lied. Because when that home invasion happened, wasn't nobody around but me, and I did what I had to do. Something happened. Nothing that didn't cause no death, but I whooped their tails. They left out and they ran out my house. They had concussions and all types of stomach pains. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And all I had on was my gown and my bare feet. Told you, God work it out. So that happened and all that. Talked to some of my employees. I told them to send me some money, do this. Then she steady sending me certain things, FedEx, all that. I told them to send some to my Foot Locker store. Told one of my employees from Nike, send it to my Foot Locker store because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Now, because I own FedEx and UPS, now my employees are under investigation. I'm finna get rid of everybody because it's there what truck, what person supposed to have delivered it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They sent out another card, all this other stuff. Big Dante. Not my son, Tay. This other dude named Dante that dated this girl named Marlene. He said, yeah, something ain't right, Big Shonda. Now here he is, 6'7", 6'8", but I'm Big Shonda. So anyway, I get up there to Foot Locker. That police yelling out to Ladera, telling Ladera what's going on. All in my bed, supposed to been looking off me, just have my back to stop stuff. Meaning like he should have been around before they even came up in my apartment. But he was all in my business. Telling Suge Knight son, Ladera, this, that, and the other. Just so happened Ladera called one of the girls that work in my Foot Locker. She opened my FedEx mail. They had a debit card in there. My debit card. That was quite a problem too. I get in touch with my other employees at Coach Dior. I own all this stuff. I'm telling you, they waiting on me. They're like, "Oh, you coming?" I say, "Yeah." I said, "I'm just the kids want to wait, to the break, spring break." And I told them won't be back at school no more. We finna be up. We up. All types of stuff. Just hectic. Even before that, that's when my refrigerators had just came out. Had to get the kinks out. I had one before. So the refrigerator from Samsung with the internet, TV, all that stuff on there. And it was programmed because my daughter KK, she programmed it. That was her password, email address, and all that type stuff. My baby shower taking care of KK hooked up the computers. They did all that stuff, and she, doing. I mean, she did all the stuff on the computer. You know, hooking up the timers and all that type stuff for us with music, and anybody know about producing music. I was teaching my kids that stuff, not just showing them doing it myself. Hold up, here you go. She had taken appointments and everything. She wasn't doing no music or help nobody with no music or stuff because they had their own music. That song "Yummy" that Justin Bieber, that come from my baby KK and K knew. The other song, "Flip a Switch," come from my KKK and Shira. All this music we did live on Instagram. Wiz Khalifa on, I'm talking about we on that everybody hitting their new stuff, just bits and pieces of it. Even Wiz Khalifa had a song. They said we gotta dance for it. You gotta dance for it, cuz. Let me see. He said, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Everything was happy, cordial, you know. hmm It was. The devil didn't break anything up. It was just people was already on some bull crap, you know. And the people who came into my house was somebody else. Some people who just didn't care. The girl lived down the street on my property. I had evicted her so many times. And before that happened, her kids came to me. Oh, she this ain't over there. And look what she did. The guys came from her. They was in on it too. And she was telling them to do certain stuff and all that stuff. J-Man was in on the gun part. Talking trash. She was in on the whole thing. Dude D, you know, gave the gun to somebody. Same gun he got from J-Man. And she gave orders with bug spray to smother somebody, to smother and rape. That was Trian. They had their little crew, you know, plotting on it, you know. Trayvon Lee, Dayton, J-Man, and Tran Johnson, which is Vince Jackson mama. I told y'all in the other videos what was going on too. But we overcame it. Things got better. But the money parts and them confiscating and stealing from me like that, that's what took the cake. And I told anybody that works for me, the managers, put in the system, do not hire. We will not hire that person. Put it on their credit report. And I mean that. Let me find out they working somewhere else at one of my stores. Because I told them, like, my database been together. Because I own so much stuff. And it's a list of permanents. Do not rehire ever. They cost me. They went in my mansion, tore up stuff, all type of stuff. Just so happened when Gotti was there, he ran around the whole house and caught Tiny and them up in there. She riding around in my Benz, my Volkswagen. I bought that stuff in the 80s, straight off the line, and it look up to date. Still look nice. I don't even trust it. My Navigator, all that stuff was there. You know, they stole my vans and stuff, so when I had the kids, and you know, they messed up my pool stuff, and the other part I was getting extended. Donald Trump was in on it too. I don't know if y'all remember they showed him on TV. Oh yeah, he got a nice house with this office, and I'm looking. Look at Rick Ross. Hey, Donald Trump in your house. That's the yep, yeah, my matcher. Cause I had a lovely office. Tell me, well, you don't live here. You know, I've been telling you, Donald Trump been a jerk and a half for a long. He used to try to kill me. He used to be shoot at me and stuff, and all he ever managed to do was shoot himself. Always place harm upon himself, messing with me. I said, won't God work it out? Don't God work it out? He did, for real. I don't know why they keep putting this stuff out here. Because y'all already got enough information. I tell them agents repeatedly. You all got all the same information. It's still the same people. Ain't nothing changed about people. He kidnapped my daughter, Cookie Williams. I don't know what Cookie at. She mixed anyway. You know, she came out looking like a little white girl with a nice tan, and her hair was shoulder length. She came out. I'm talking about her hair was so long in the front and back all over. And I had to clean her up and everything. And I had to watch how you do that, put in the pots. I tried to comb it back, but it was just like this all over. Like a Short dog. You know how that hair be all over their eyes and stuff. So I said, well, I hope you ain't got no hair on your forehead, girl. No, it wasn't there. It was just her hair. Yeah. What was wild when Matt Rogers kidnapped her, she brought her back. Donald Trump told her to bring me my baby back. Okay. Then she break in my house and kidnapped her and took her to Hilltop. She took him right back to her. Thomason. This and him and Bernard Mosley, Finball Daddy. The Bernard Mosley Sr. Finball Daddy Bernard is. Finball name is Bernard Mosley Jr. He was in on it too. Matt really don't know where they went because he said Matt talked too much. She looked like me. Mm-hmm. A black white girl. But she mixed. She look more white than mixed. You know how most mixed people be. She looking white. A white girl with a pretty tan. Like my other daughter, I got by former Vice President Pence. His first child is by me. I met him when he was getting out of high school before he went to college. Okay. So I'm telling you what's going down. What happened happened. No lies here. Another thing, I told you about how Kevin Gates, killed my daughter. I had by him East. Young Jock killed our daughter. All this stuff on court records. He didn't even supposed to be around her or got hurt. Young Jock he ain't no good. This man built up so much animosity to me. Now, I was a judge, and I took him to court because I found out something, because somebody else know him. He was younger than what we thought all that time he was hanging around us. I was pissed. At this time, not he an adult, but I'm mad as I don't know what. Because his mom and them lied and all this, he was always around us. His auntie and them, and we kicking it. Told y'all about my other daughter, Kobe Bryant, them kidnapped. Yeah, NBA, Kobe Bryant. Yeah. My other daughter, random road kidnapped her. I ain't have no kids by him. And Ronell Jackson, everybody, man, what you want? Now, Mike called and said something about that. You just met her. She was already pregnant. You ain't got no kids by her. You ain't. There he go with Pat Jackson and Lynn Mills now. All in my business. So worried about what me and my baby daddy do. My baby daddies. I mean, I'm me. Do what I want to do. I'm grown for one. Who is there to be worried about our sexual activities? I had been knowing them even before I ended up in East St. Louis. We had never had sex together. Because of boom, none of us three, nope, nothing. You know? And even though the way I was born and had this, it was a no homo session. It wasn't like that. And they family, they weren't touching on each other, sure. You know? But it still wasn't none of their business. You know? Want your business, Lynn, Pat Jackson, and Aaron? But want your business. I was grown in my own house. Y'all had no business breaking in. But want your business. Same thing Papa said. What y'all worried about them? They grown, you know. Uh-huh. I'm like, I think they was jealous. They wanted to jump in with us. That's what it was. Hmm. But I'm gonna leave it there. Y'all got an idea what I'm saying, what's going on. It's crimes behind everything. It's crimes behind everything I told you. And to leave it like it was, I think where Aaron them got it from too. How about Rihanna was acting? And when Rihanna, the singer, was mean people, she was telling people she was mean. My baby daddy had already proved. They say, I don't make sure you mind. Ain't nobody touching her, but that's for sure. No, she don't do no anal. They knew that. He gonna attempt to try to do it, not hollering. Boy, we got the fighting. Paw, man, what is you doing? So I kept telling him she don't do all. You ain't had you telling him should have just been that. All the time it's Rihanna. I didn't know her. I didn't even know she was down the street with Chris Brown now. You know? And Chris Brown talking about some they talking about Riri. She down there telling people she you her and Hachi now. Well they won't call him Hachi then. They was calling him by his initials, which his family called him JT. They on some bull crap. So I told them too, you don't be doing all that terrible and all that extra curriculum. Even though I done been to some movie flicks, I did some basic X rated, maybe a X rated too. I ain't never been no triple X hardcore and all that. No.